Have you ever felt like you were drowning in bills and just spending money way too fast on things you don't really need? Well, I decided to take drastic action and try extreme budgeting for 30 days to get my finances under control. This is what happened. Like a lot of people, I've struggled with managing my money properly. I have a decent income, but between rent, bills, going out, and just random impulse purchases, it always seemed like my paycheck would disappear so quickly. I'd look at my bank account and credit card statements and just think, where did it all go? I tried basic budgeting apps and cutting back here and there, but I'd always eventually fall back into my old habits. So this time, I decided to take things to the next level. One challenged myself to an entire month of extreme budgeting. The rules were simple. I set a very strict budget of just $50 per week for all food, gas, and any other expenses outside of absolute necessities like rent and bills I couldn't avoid. That's just $7 per day. Anything I didn't spend rolled over to the next week. I'm not going to lie, I was pretty nervous going into this. Spending only $50 per week when I was used to easily spending that or more per day seemed crazy. But I was determined to stick to it no matter what. Week 1. That first week was a shock to the system. I had to cut out all my regular spending like daily coffee runs, lunches at work, going out on weekend evenings, and any impulse shopping trips. I drove the bare minimum to conserve gas too. Instead, I did super basic homemade meals using inexpensive ingredients I already had. Things like eggs and toast, grilled chicken and vegetables, simple sandwiches for lunch, etc. I'd meal prep at the start of the week too, which was key. The first weekend was probably the toughest when friends wanted to hit up restaurants and bars. I stuck to my guns though and made myself prepared meals while they went out. Week 2. By the second week, I was really getting into the swing of things. After getting over that initial hump, my new frugal routine started to feel more normal. I'd mastered the art of home cooking on a tight budget using cheap pantry staples and whatever was on sale at the grocery store. While it wasn't the most exciting food, I got by just fine on things like rice and beans, pasta, soups and stir-fries made with inexpensive proteins and lots of vegetables. I even baked my own bread. And it wasn't just food. I cut out any and all unnecessary spending, and cost-cutting became a fun challenge. I got really creative about free activities, even rediscovering my local library for books and movies. Week 3. At this point, my new money-saving habits were locked in and I was actually enjoying the challenge. I started a workout routine at home, using free YouTube videos and going for runs outside to stay active without a gym membership. My social life took a hit, not going to lie. But my friendships were reinforced too, as I got used to politely declining invitations to spend money and just appreciated the quality time. Nights in cooking together and watching movies became the norm, and it was honestly pretty nice. Week 4. By the final week, I felt like I had found a new normal and was actually excited to see just how much I could save by the end of the month. I doubled down that last week, sticking to an extremely bare-bones $30 by emptying out my pantry and fridge, and got crazy with meal prepping for peak efficiency. It wasn't pretty, but essentially I was living off of things: beans, rice, eggs, and frozen veggies. When the 30 days was over, I was simultaneously dreading and anxiously awaiting my final total. And I was blown away by spending an average of just $45 per week. I had managed to save over $540 compared to my regular monthly spending habits. While that level of extreme is probably not sustainable forever, the whole experience was truly eye-opening. It showed me how much little expenses can really add up, and that with some discipline and creativity, I really can live happily and healthily on a lot less. It's now a few months later, and while my budget is definitely less extreme, I've maintained so many frugal habits that make me think twice before mindless spending. Things like meal prepping, lots of home cooking, free entertainment, and more have stuck. Budgeting always seemed so stressful to me before. But by embracing the challenge of extreme frugality for a while, I felt liberated in a way. It was a reset I really needed, and if you're struggling with your finances too, I can't recommend this experience enough. Let me know if you've ever tried something similar or just your thoughts on a challenge like this. And subscribe for more real-life experiments coming soon.